What's up, everybody? Welcome to day 24, I think, of Musical Memories. It might be 25. I think it's 24, though. And today, the song that I'm going to be sharing with you guys is called Plus est en vous. So, this is exciting because this is a song that actually has a French title. And this song was written during my time in Texas. And so I shared yesterday about my other song that I wrote when I first got to Texas called You Prepared the Way. And that song was about the joy and the excitement that I had when I first got to Texas, right? Like I was so thankful and happy that God like prepared the way and brought me to Texas. But then over the next 3 or 4 months, like things really started to change because like my first few months in Texas, for context, I was working with troubled teenagers in Texas, living in a house with these teenagers that would do crazy things. Like they would jump out the windows of the middle of the night to go find cigarettes on the road. Like they would punch people. Like one of them had to get sent away to a camp because he had to get sent away to a different like place for troubled teenagers because this one wasn't good enough for him. So there was like these crazy things always happening there. And it was easy to feel overwhelmed and like I wasn't qualified to really help these kids at all. Like I thought my role there was like not working. Like I wasn't really connecting with some of my coworkers at the time. And so like it was just like overall like everything was falling apart to the point where I actually went to this prayer room in the city called Throne Room House of Prayer. Shout out to them. They're like one of my favorite prayer rooms in the entire world. But I was at the prayer room there and I was praying with the Lord, and I felt like he was telling me that he was giving me grace to leave Texas or grace to stay. So I basically like had this choice of like God's grace was essentially like, if I decide I want to stay at the job, he'll be with me in it. But if I decide that I can't handle the job and I want to go home, like he can still be with me in it. And during that worship time, like the Lord gave me the word plus est en vous, which is French for there's more in you. And that phrase actually first stood out to me when I was watching Tangled the series. Like there's a animated series about the movie Tangled where like Rapunzel is talking to her mom like when she's like moving back into the city, like after she's been isolated her whole life and now she's learning what it is to be a princess. And her mom tells her like plus est en vous, there's more in you than you realize, like because like she doesn't know what it's like to be a princess. She's just been locked up in a room her whole life, right? And sometimes I feel like in our relationship in the kingdom of God, especially like for me, like as somebody who grew up pretty isolated and alone for most of my life, like even when I first started walking with the Lord and going to Bible studies, like I used to be the person who sat in the back, didn't say anything, had like no paradigm for my value, and just I didn't think there was much in me. And especially in this season in Texas, like I really didn't think there was much in me because I was just like I felt like I had no ability to help these kids or do the job that I was supposed to be doing, especially when things got violent. Like when kids were punching each other, I was scared. Like I was like, these kids are gonna beat me up. So I was just like very overwhelmed in that situation and I didn't know if I could do it anymore. And so like I actually, after that day in the prayer room, I went back, packed up my suitcases. I called my dad. I was gonna fly home the next day and quit the job. But then one of our like supervisors at the job, this guy named Ben, he actually wanted to meet with me the next morning just to talk it through before I made the decision to leave. And so me and Ben ended up talking, and he ended up moving me to a different position on the campus, which was a much better fit for me. And he said that like he still saw a lot of value in me. Like he actually compared me to Gideon in the Bible, where Gideon like didn't have a lot of confidence, but God like gave Gideon that confidence where he was able to then follow through on God's plan for him. And the beautiful thing is after that day where I like made the decision, okay, I will stay in Texas, then like the next 8 months were much better. I really connected with a lot of the kids and coworkers, and the Lord redeemed what had felt like I didn't think there was anything left in me. I didn't think I could keep going, but then he gave me the strength to keep going. And so I wrote this song Plus est en vous slightly after that experience. Like I always consider that moment the almost quit moment. It was the moment I almost quit, but then God gave me the endurance to make it through that whole year in Texas and see a lot of positive things. And it was not all unicorns and rainbows after that moment. There were still hardships, but God gave me the strength to overcome them, and that was what it was all about. So yeah, so plus est en vous. Why don't we sing it? I brought the guitar today because I've been really enjoying guitar lately. I don't usually have it when I do videos in my car, but Um, but I love guitar. So here we go. When you think you've reached the end, that's when you can begin again. When you think you've reached the end, that's when you can begin again. When you think you've reached the end, that's when you can begin again. When you think you've reached the end, that's when you can begin again. Vous êtes en vous, there's more in you. Vous êtes en vous, God's not done. Vous êtes en vous, there's more in you. Vous êtes en vous, the best is yet to come, and God's not done. No, God's not done. And when you think your story's through, that's when He shows there's more to you. When you think your story's through, that's when He shows there's more to you. When you think your story's through, that's when He shows there's more to you. When you think your story's through, that's when He shows there's more to you. Vous êtes en vous, there's more in you. Vous êtes en vous, God's not done. Vous êtes en vous, there's more in you. Vous êtes en vous, the best is yet to come, and God's not done. God's not done. When you think you've reached the end and it feels there's nowhere left to go, you can hear His voice cry out and say, my child, I love you so. When you think you've reached the end and it feels there's nowhere left to go, you can hear His voice cry out and say, my child, I love you so. Vous êtes en vous, there's more in you. Vous êtes en vous, God's not done. Vous êtes en vous, there's more in you. Vous êtes en vous, the best is yet to come. Vous êtes en vous, there's more in you. Vous êtes en vous, God's not done. Vous êtes en vous, there's more in you. Vous êtes en vous, the best is yet to come, and God's not done. God's not done. The best is yet to come, and God's not done. Yeah, God's not done. There we go. That's it. Vous êtes en vous. Love it. So yeah, there we go. That is today's song. Hope you guys are encouraged. And tomorrow, we'll have another one. I think tomorrow's another Texas song. So the Texas season, there were some good songs from Texas. So see you then.